This is going to be Baddies, McFaddies versus Greater Than Good. This is going to be the next game in the first round, I believe. I was incorrect in saying in the last game that this was going to be second round. Today has stretched on for quite a while. This is going to be at least one going for the long haul. But Gore, coming into this game, I'm already seeing some interesting divergences in picks. For the offense, it is going to be Greater Than Good starting on defense. Greater Than Good opting for a Widowmaker, Tracer, Diva style. So they'll have a lot of dive. Oh, and a Widowmaker. Oh, actually, no, excuse me, a Pharah of all things. So, a very out there comp, which isn't going to sit behind a Reinhardt barrier or just sit in an area at all. They're going to be all over the gaff.
That's definitely going to be very interesting because, like you said, there's no Reinhardt barrier. And I think there's actually a point yesterday when me and you were talking about King's Row. For this first checkpoint, the biggest way in through that choke point at that wall and around the theater is to hide behind a Reinhardt shield. Unfortunately, that has not really been
possible.
Or that's not something we're going to be seeing, right? We have Spicy Pupper on this Diva. I expect it to go well for them, but I'm going to be kind of interested. Oh, no, Dream Archer did switch over. They do have a Reinhardt now.
Okay, so either they were indecisive or they were trolling us. Either way, they decided to go with a more sensible style, only with the one spicy pick, which is the Widowmaker. 2 snipers is going to help a lot picking people off out of the church, but going into actually pushing in, they're going to have to rely on ultimates and very good play, like mechanical play to actually seal the deal.
It's kind of interesting to see Ketz. He's throwing out some shots. He's just not able to get the angles that he's really looking for. He's going for the backline, trying to trade shots with Anna. And I'm actually really interested in the fact that Anna sitting in the back is sniping and not necessarily sitting up front healing around like we normally see.
Yeah, I mean, she can heal from distance, but she's got to be a bit restricted by lines of sight. Emberst is in the back line, and we do see Transcend for Baddies McFaddies up above, raining death where he can. We do see the Pharah Mercy, so that is going to be a big old pain in the backside of Ketz and Emberst. GMO can snipe from pretty far range, so can Ketz, but Ketz is definitely going to be priority target number 1 for Trans outside of Emberst. Now, moving into this, maybe we're going to see Java pick up a kill. Yes, he will. He will pick up the kill onto Omaha. And for the most part, this is just both teams really jockeying for position around the hotel, although it looks like finally Greater Than Good are going to try and slip their way out of the hotel, but in only drips and drabs, which means GMO gets picked out here, Go.
And Trance has really been doing a lot with these Pharah rockets. He's been able to get pretty much all the damage he needs exactly where he needs it. We're going to see him taking down Diva and her mech right there. Spicy Pepper going to get taken off of the map for just a little bit longer. Now targeting down Keats, and that is the reason why Widowmaker is a little bit less seen, especially for this kind of early push on an offense. We see so much work being done right now by Trance, just kind of getting into the backline, using these rockets. Obviously, they're a little bit of AoE damage, so he doesn't have to hit directly, but he's actually hit a lot more direct shots than I think we would normally see out of other players. GMO, once again, being taken down, and Trance, honestly, I think, leading the way for his team.
Excuse me. Now, something to bear in mind as well, any relevant targets that Ketz would really want to hit, as he will switch out to the Soldier 76, are hiding behind Tofu's Reinhardt barrier. So you can't hit one of the best ways to shut down the Widowmaker, Reinhardt barrier. 2000 HP shield, good luck getting through that on your own. But the Soldier 76, on the other hand, he did just get picked off admittedly, but he is going to do a lot better in getting around the flanks and getting behind Reinhardt and being a general pain in the backside.
And so far, it's been working well for them. With Roadhog here as well, I expect to see more difficult. He's watching over the theater, is going to get pulled himself. His hook did not go through, but the ultimate is going to be good, and he's going to be throwing them right into the corner with a powered-up Reinhardt to follow up. A lot of damage being thrown down. We saw Pharah threw down as many missiles as she could, and that is going to be a not necessarily team wipe, but really, really big kill.
Yeah, 2 boosted Reinhardts were charging at each other. Then we saw Javik just running like, hi, I'm going to spoil the party, and just whole hugs his opponent into the corner. And because of that, Baddies McFaddies are going to be able to continue this hold with relative ease. There's no one actually been able to touch the actual point apart from Emberst. Nice Graviton Surge by Duchenne, but beautiful Earth Shatter by Dream Archer to avoid any kind of charge by Tofu, and because of that, he will take down his Reinhardt counterpart. Now this fight is turning into a bit of a scrappy brawl here. People going down left, right, and center so much I can't keep the camera on track. But for the most part, Baddies McFaddies once again pulling out ahead.
Yeah, they're able to do a lot, and a lot of it is on the back of this Roadhog being able to hit these hooks.
Tofu.
A beautiful 2 combo there, Tofu picking up the kill, but a lot of really good like CC and sustain really coming down from the Roadhog, from the Reinhardt, both of them keeping control for their team and allowing Pharah really to kind of shine out here as long as Mercy keeping them alive. Like, their team comp just is working very far. They know their strengths. They're going for a GMO, going to get hooked, going to get taken down here. And they're looking to chase down. Actually did not fall to that last shotgun blast to the face. And the overtime is ticking. There's one person trying to defend this point, but it just doesn't look like it's going to be enough as Roadhog is going to push in.
Papa, look up! Look up! There is a Pharah above you! You are boosted, kill her! Trance is being unchallenged in the air right now. She can sit there with Elbow of Chemistry and just rain down death. And that was a big mistake in Greater Than Good's offense. Not keeping the sky secure. Trance was just able to sit up in the air, thanks to the Pharah buffs, which allow you to literally sit in the air infinitely if you feather your throttle correctly, and just rain down death. There wasn't that much to it. Admittedly, there was some nice wombo combos here and there, but it just came down to area control, and more importantly, skybox control. And for that, Baddies McFaddies get an A in that grade.
That is the first game that we have seen today where the control on the point was so good that no one was able to capture it. The first time we saw that was actually in the seeded bracket, it did go to overtime. They got it at the very last second. They were able to kind of finally push that point, but they did capture the point in the end. That was the first time that anyone has been successfully able to defend that point, and I feel like that's going to give a really big advantage here to Baddies McFaddies, because now going into this, they're going to be attacking. They're going to do their best to get this point. All they have to do is cap this and they win.
So, having a look at team comps, we're going to be seeing Keats on the McCree Emberst opting to take over the role of Soldier 76. So, for the defense, they want to go with a lot of hit scan, a lot of range, because they also do have Zenyatta and Honor as their support, so a lot of range damage. And then Spicy Papa and Dream Archer will be the front line trying to hold choke and put out fires wherever they may. Now, Baddies McFaddies, they're on the offense now. And Baddies McFaddies set a good defense time, so good in fact, that all they need is one push, and one successful push, and they win map 1. And Tofu and I'm not even going to pronounce the name properly, Pokinya, is... They were switching between the kind of cheesy picks. I saw a Bastion being hovered over and a Hanzo, but no, they're going to go to the sensible, Zarya, Reinhardt. They have a Winston backing them for the dive. So overall, I'm looking forward to see how this works, because Greater Than Good are going to have to pull some grit out of their arse right now to actually defend this.
And Trance, this time, instead of being on the Pharah, is on the Widowmaker. We actually have Tofu really deep, taking a lot of damage, but this barrier doing so much work for him. He's just slowly walking backwards, but finally Spicy Pepper going to be able to pick up that kill. Trance still trying to help his team control the point, and I feel like we see Greater Than Good not necessarily knowing really that their points being captured right now without them being able to do anything about it.
That's unfortunate. One wipe, and that's going to be map number 1 going in favor of Baddies McFaddies. Now,
out of
the
games that we've seen today, that one I feel like was the one that was most unfortunate overall. I expect, obviously Baddies McFaddies now have 1 game lead. If they win the next one or this next map, they're going to be able to do something with it. But I feel like Greater Than Good have the ability to come in. Of course, play of the game goes to Trance on that Pharah, and it's going to be in this corner. This was just phenomenal play from him. It was when Roadhog was locking him down there, and it's just a lot of control and beautiful combos from the team.
Yeah, we saw a nice amount of CC chaining, but also the Pharah was just going uncontested so much. And because of that, nice defense goes into the offense, and it will be a 1-0 lead for Baddies McFaddies. Now, you and I don't know the map order. That's been decided by the admins, and we are going to be going to Nepal. Nepal. This has been a map we've seen many times today. Nepal as well. We've seen a lot of really clutch plays. I am going to put my Monopoly money down now. We are going to see... Not a Symmetra, not a Torbjorn. There's another person I'm missing. Actually, we've got to make sure we give our ready to the admin so they actually start. But I want to see maybe... Actually, no, I will take that back. Torbjorn. I want to see Torbjorn. Because Torbjorn allows you to win more. Baddies McFaddies have shown they were able to dominate that first map. A Torbjorn would allow them to win more in theory, but at the same time, it could also be a liability. But I like my spicy picks.
And again, it'd be really happy to kind of see, flavor picks. At the same time, I feel like Baddies McFaddies on this side, they're going to go with something more kind of cut and dry, the same kind of standard we've seen all day. Greater than good are the ones I'm really interested to see because they're down a game. That's when you pull out like pocket strats. That's when you pull out something that people haven't seen. That's when you pull out like, your Torbjorn if you want it. I would like to see a team grab Mei and use her for longer than 30 seconds into the match. I feel like it's being undervalued. Of course, I say that, but accompanying that, obviously, a lot of these other picks, obviously the Zarya, the Reinhardt, like all of them are very strong. And so there's no real reason to get rid of those for somebody who it's a little bit more iffy on, which would be like Mei, would be like trying to pull a Hanzo out in here. It's like they work and it could work out for you, but overall, it's probably just the smarter to keep to these top picks because there's a reason they're at the top.
Admittedly, some of those top picks have been nerfed down slightly. Ana was nerfed, the ult charge globally was nerfed, which affects her as well. Zarya got hit in 2 places, her barriers and the global ult charge, which does affect her. And, you mentioned the Mei. There's a lot of defense characters that aren't really played too much. The Mei is probably the one who gets played the most because of her CC capability, and admittedly, she may be usage may be going down because the Ana meta isn't as prevalent, but things like Junkrat, Hanzo, the Widowmaker, we've seen them pulled out occasionally. Maybe we can see more. I want to see more Junkrat, personally, Gore. Junkrat, I feel, is so undervalued. Thank you, GMO, seeing the value in Junkrat. Junkrat can provide so much raw damage that you can opt to actually detonate with things like Concussive Mine plus Trap. You're not necessarily always feeding the support's charge as long as you can find good positioning to get over shields and whatnot.
And we actually mentioned this earlier. This is another one of those maps that's very good for a Junkrat. It was in a different match, but because his shots for the point can go down, obviously aiming up with that kind of arcing shot isn't going to be good. That being said, it has been taken away from us, so we don't actually get to see the Junkrat come out, which is, again, I want to say it's unfortunate just because overall I feel like he's very strong. I like the fact, though, that we see on the other side, we see Baddies McFaddies picking up. They have the Reinhardt, they have the Zarya, and they put Trance back on this Pharah. That's a lot of push, and especially with the Roadhog, a lot of push to knock people off of the map. Same with Chemistry. Like, all of them have something that allow them to control this and push people into this, little pit of death on the side of it, or at least control them off of the point.
Stop complaining, Trance. You're in a full suit of body armor. How can you be cold? So, moving into the match here, we do see both teams are going to once again do the standard start you see people do. They're going to fight over this right side. We will see, though, GMO try and go for the flank. First death of the game is Dream Archer, courtesy of Tofu. Up goes Giverhawk. Java GC will pick up Roadhog. This is a very, very spread out fight over both ends of the hall.
Now, the Ana play we're seeing out of Fokinya is really the one that I expected to see last game. We actually saw Ana kind of taking more of a sniper when GMO was playing it, but right here, Fokinya being frontline up there with his team, healing them as much as he can. He's not using the scope, he's going in, using the sleepy time to keep himself alive, keeping down as much health as he can, and that's really what I expect to see is Tofu over in the frontline going to be picking up a lot of kills.
Trance is up in the air, trying to provide some damage through the door. Bear in mind, there is the Winston shields on the side of Baddies McFaddies. So, maybe... Sorry, excuse me, then great, then good. So maybe we'll see that come into play. But right now, Baddies McFaddies doing a good job holding the point. Again, tranced on this Pharah, which isn't being contested. Nice use of the Graviton Surge by Duchini. Oh, sorry, Duchini. And because of that, full barrage. That is pretty much an unofficial team kill -2 by Baddies McFaddies.
And this entire time, the point has been capped. They've got control of it. Even though they don't have anyone sitting on it right now, it is going in favor of Baddies and McFaddies really just keeping control of themselves. Trance still doing a lot of work with this Pharah, but it looks like they've got control of the point. They're keeping control of the choke point now. Nobody, and that is just saying nobody is getting through this room.
Yeah, a buffed Reinhardt is doing 100 damage a swing. You don't want to step to that. So once again, room is going to be defended. Once again, Trance is not being challenged. No one is killing the flying pigeon of doom. And, well, I say flying pigeon, you move as slow as one when you're Pharah. You don't have that much lateral movement. You can move up and down, but your left and right isn't that great, so you'd think, Gore, that she would have been shot down by now.
And so far, it's just been honestly, it's a beautiful play, really, out of all of the members here for Baddies McFaddies, keeping control of where they are. A lot of them have their ultimates available to pretty much continue this control. I expect to see Roanhog in this point if they try to push forward. He's actually going to fall down, so that's not going to be able to happen here. We do, however, get to see the Graviton Surge once again coming down. And a lot of stuff coming down. Just damage, damage. Trance doing so much for his team with that ultimate, and that is just a clean 1-0, 100%. There was not even a contest on the point.
You want to know what was funny about that round, Gore? Well, we saw Baddies McFaddies use the one tactic to increase their lead that Greater Than Good could have used to actually get back on the point. Use the 2 side doors. We saw Trance often slip through that right-hand side door from the perspective of the defenders and slip through them and, you know, get in and out. And because of that last one especially, after that Graviton was transcended, that would be the correct term, past tense, she was just able to slip in behind and just start banging away with the barrage. But at the same time, no one from Greater Than Good opted to use those side doors, and because of it, they just kept running down the middle and running their heads into a proverbial brick wall. Sometimes literally if you were being charged into it by Tofu.
Tofu literally hitting the brick wall, just like you had said, and leading the way for his team. Once again, we're going to see the fight break out. Early on, this team fight kind of determines a lot. A beautiful Maywall going to lock off Dream Archer away from his escape and allow them to pump the damage down. Zarya doing a lot for her team as well, getting as much damage and honestly control, really zoning out of this going team. Tofu moving forward, doing a lot for his team. Mei is really not working out from GMO. The walls haven't been well placed enough to really do anything, and Tofu knocking GMO off the map, not necessarily pinning her, so Tofu gets to come out of that with his life.
Yeah, the Reinhardt charge will, you know, once you grab someone, there is no stopping until you reach the distance, or you hit the wall, or you die. So, Tofu getting the better end of that engagement, and once again, on King of the Hill, Baddies McFaddies able to hold strongly. A little bit of deja vu. GMO, though, trying to redeem himself with this wall. He manages to wall in 2, and then immediately gets killed by Java. Multiple ultimates. Oh, one ultimate is being used. Now it's multiple ultimates, although that was a bit suspect. Poking a bit, not gun-shy, a little bit too quick to use the Ana buff there, in my opinion. He could have saved that for another push.
You're happy, but when it comes down to it, again, that's the second time we've really seen Baddies McFaddies are at this point where they're just controlling the choke. They're making it so that while there are side paths, and honestly, again, I'd like to see Greater Than Good use those, they're controlling exactly where they need to, and we're actually watching a side path run through here, but there's a wall on the other side, and Lucio going to be able to use that.
Nice
Reinhardt
save.
dashing beautifully to get back on there, but he
Lucio's
dashes into all of the enemy team, and he's just going to fall.
Yeah, the 2 saves from falling off there are really indicative of Greater Than Good's play. They are holding on for dear life right now. They are 1-0 down in the map, and at this rate, if they don't count this, they are going to be down into lower brackets. Trance is so far doing so much work for Baddies McFaddies. Although let's not forget to give props to the rest of his team. Beautiful Gravitons from Dutchy. Java hitting so many hooks, it's not even funny. And then great support play by Fokinya and Kimstry. And of course, Tofu hitting so many charges as well. Great. The ball is firmly in Greater Than Good's court to actually win this, but they may need to rely on more of a choke from Baddies instead. Although, if we're to see a Diva ultimate actually get poked in by Java, that could have been horrible.
We actually see Embers get knocked down during his charge going through, and a lot of control. Tofu pretty much guaranteeing his team to have the win there, stopping any sort of aggression that would have come out from Greater Than Good. And all in all, they put themselves in the front, they controlled the map, and Duccini going to go ahead and be the one who does get play of the match. And honestly, this could be pretty much any ult, but it's actually going to be the one that I think you said was a little bit suspect.
Yeah, just Aria. So there's the Graviton, finds 2, and then there's the charge. Like, yo, look, we didn't need that, but okay. But with that, that is going to be Baddies McFaddies winning in a clean 2-0, and moving on to round 2 of upper bracket. Meanwhile, Greater Than Good will be falling down into the lower bracket to try and fight their way into tournament survival and hopefully grand finals if they can actually make it there. Gore. If you were God King Emperor of Earth and you could have told Greater Than Good one thing and they would have immediately obeyed you, what would you have told them to actually give them a bit more chance of success there?
That one's a little difficult, mainly because Baddies, McFaddies seem to just be, and I don't want to put them down, but they just seem to be a little bit stronger of a team. Like, they worked really well together. But at least for that last map, maybe use some of the side paths. Have flankers on your team. Have someone to go around. Like, even if you just send like a Reinhardt, or not a Reinhardt, a Reaper or a McCree off to the side to get that damage down, that's what you need to do. And not having that I feel like it was a big detriment to them because they were always standing in a group of 6.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to head to a quick break while we get the next match of the day up on your screens. Don't go anywhere. This is the second stream for the Java Gaming Cafe's Overwatch tournament.